Hey guys, Shootersmallz here. Thanks for tuning back into the channel. And today we're going to be talking about the top assault gun in Battlefield 1. Now, I want to thank each and every one of you that watched my top medic class gun video, and I've got a lot of likes and a lot of views on that, so I really do appreciate it. So hopefully this video I can help you guys pick a better all-around gun for the assault class. Now, as you guys know, the assault class is mainly made up of shotguns. Now, I'm going to go ahead and eliminate all the shotguns right off the bat, and here's why. Obviously I could make a case that the shotguns are very powerful, and depending on the map and your playstyle, that the shotguns, or any one of those shotguns, could be the best gun for you. Now, what I'm talking about when I think about the best overall assault gun, the shotguns are just too limited. They're only good at one thing, which is close range, up close and personal. So on some maps, the shotgun may be the best gun for you, but for the purpose of this video and the best all-around gun, I'm going to eliminate all the shotguns because they're a one-trick pony. They're not the best all-around gun. So bye-bye shotguns. Now, when you eliminate all the shotguns, you're really only left with 4 guns. Now, I'm not going to talk about the optical versions or the different versions of them. I'm going to talk about only the factory or the trench versions, those basic versions. It gives me a good baseline. Now, obviously the optical versions only change the optics, or maybe like the MP18 experimental, I believe, is more of a burst firing type of a thing as opposed to automatic. But I'm not going to include that because if you look at their stats on simtech.com, that's where most of these stats are coming from. Basically the stat is the same. So the only thing that is changing on those different versions of the same gun is basically the optic and maybe a firing mode or something, but the stats are the same. So I'm not going to cover all of them. I'm just going to cover the basic factory versions of the guns. So the 4 that we're left with is the Automatico, the Hell Regal, the MP18 Trench, that's the factory version for the MP18, and then I'm gonna pronounce this wrong, but it's the Ribeye Rolls or something like that. I'm gonna call it the Ribeye, okay? So whenever I say the Ribeye, that's the gun I'm talking about. It is the DLC gun, so I know some people may not have that gun, but I am gonna include it in this review of the top assault guns. So now, like I was saying, I did go out to simtech.com. If you guys have never used Simtech, it breaks down all the weapon stats, anything and everything you would ever want to know. You know, maximum damage, minimum, fire rate, magazine size, recoil, the spread, like ADS, and like all kinds of stuff you don't even need. It breaks it down for you. Muzzle velocity, anything and everything you could think of, it's on there. So if you want to dive into the numbers and crunch some numbers and figure out the best gun for you, well, simtech.com is the best place. I'll go ahead and link it down in the description for you. You guys can check it out. Now, I did create a little spreadsheet, a little graph here to help me out in this analysis. And it's kind of interesting to see it all on paper. Obviously, when you play the game and you use the guns, in your mind you have a best gun, but it's really interesting to see it on paper. So the actual max damage for all 4 of those guns is exactly the same at 23. And the minimum damage is all relatively pretty close. It ranges from 12 at the lowest to 15 at the highest. So really all we're talking about is kind of their range profile, you know, their fire rate, their magazine size, and maybe, you know, personal preference on recoil and whatnot. But I would suggest using the gun to figure out how the recoil, you know, affects your gameplay. So basically the first gun out of those 4, the Automatico, the Hell Regal, the MP18, and the Ribeye, the first one I want to eliminate is the MP18 Trench. Now, this gun is just basically middle of the road in everything. So it's not the worst, it's not the best. It is a good gun to use. So if you don't have, you know, for the Hell Regal, for example, unlocked, the MP18 is a fine gun to use. It's not a big deal. All of these 4 guns are very close in stats, so we're kind of nitpicking here. But for me, I'm going to get rid of the MP18. The max damage is 23, the minimum damage is 13.5, which is in the middle. The fire rate is 550 rounds per minute, which is actually the lowest of the 4 we're talking about. And then the magazine size is only 32. I say only, it's actually the second highest, but for me where it falls short is the time to kill, and it has the slowest fire rate. So if you look on simtech.com, it breaks down the time to kill, and this one is last. And out of all 4 of these guns, this one is last at basically every range. So is it a big difference in the time to kill? No, not really, but it's just, like I said, it's just a middle of the pack. It's nothing special. It's not a horrible gun, but it's not the best gun. So bye bye MP18 Trench. So now we're left with 3, the Automatico, the Hellriegel, and the Ribeye. The next one I want to get rid of is the Automatico. Now, some people would be like, what are you doing, Shootersmallz? The Automatico is the best gun. Well, I would agree to some extent. I love the Automatico. I use it a lot. If you look on SimTech, look on the range profile, this thing is short range only. And if you aim down sights, you cannot control it whatsoever. So this is a hip fire only gun, kind of like a shotgun. It shoots 900 rounds a minute, which is by far the highest. It only has a magazine size of 25, so that's a little bit limited there. When you're shooting 900 rounds a minute, you go through 25 pretty darn quick. But if you look at the time to kill, this one is by far the fastest at the closer ranges. At the further ranges, you can't use it because you can't control it. It bounces up way too much. So for me, this one it's too much of a one-trick pony. Its range is so short that you have to use it kind of like a shotgun. So in those medium to longer range engagements, the Automatico is not going to do you any good. Now when I say longer range engagements, the assault guns are all close range weapons, so you shouldn't be using these long range. When I say long range, I'm thinking about in my head long range for the assault guns, if that makes sense. So it might be more of a medium range overall, if that makes any sense. So all in all, bye bye Automatico. It's super good. It's the best gun up close and personal, but it falls off too quickly at range. So when you're thinking about the best gun overall, I need it to be good at short range, medium range, and stretching out towards the longer ranges. So bye bye Automatico. So now we're left with 2, the Hellriegel and the Ribeye. On paper, these things are very, very similar. Their maximum damage is 23. The minimum damage, the Hellriegel is 13.5 and the Ribeye is 15. So the Ribeye has a little bit higher minimum damage, not a lot higher, 1.5 higher, but it is slightly higher. The fire rate is 650 for the Hellriegel and 550 for the Ribeye, so the Hellriegel shoots a little faster. And then magazine size, the Hellriegel blows it out of the water with 60 as opposed to 25. Now if you look at the time to kill graph on SimTech, or if you create your own, the Hellriegel at those closer ranges kills faster due to the fire rate, because it has a faster fire rate. The maximum damage is the same, so it fires faster. Now as you progress out longer ranges, they're actually very, very similar. Basically they're kind of the same all the way out to about 40 meters or so, and then the Ribeye kind of ever so slightly beats it. The further and further away you go, the Ribeye will kill faster, just due to the minimum damage being that 1.5 higher. Now that's not a huge deal in my mind. So up close and personal, the Hellriegel wins. The further and further you go away, the Ribeye starts to win more and more. So like I was saying, the assault guns should not be used at longer ranges. So using the Ribeye at super long ranges is probably not a good idea. Now it does have a bipod on it, so that will help definitely at those longer ranges. So if you're playing the assault class at long range, the Ribeye could be a fantastic gun to use. Now I wouldn't recommend using assault class guns at longer ranges, because that's not what they're meant for. So when I'm using the assault guns, I'm medium range to close range, and I try to avoid those long range engagements. So with that in mind, so if you're playing the assault class like it's supposed to be played, which is that medium to close range, the Hellriegel in my opinion is the best gun as opposed to the Ribeye. The Ribeye just doesn't quite kill fast enough because of that fire rate. Now if you are doing the longer range, you could use the Ribeye, but like I said, you should be playing medium to close range for the assault class. And obviously, to top it all off, the Hellriegel has a 60 round magazine. Now there is a new version of the Hellriegel, which I believe has like a 120 round magazine. So if that's your fancy, you can do that. But it does have by far the maximum magazine size in the assault class. So there you have it, guys. That's my opinion of the top assault gun in Battlefield 1, the Hellriegel. I don't think that's a big surprise by any stretch of the imagination. I feel like if you talk to 9 people out of 10 are gonna say the Hellriegel is the best gun. So if you don't have the ribeye or that DLC, don't worry about it, guys. Get to level 10 assault, get yourself the Hellriegel. You'll have the best assault gun in Battlefield 1. Go ham bananas on people. It's a great time. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I would love to know what you guys think is the best assault class in Battlefield 1. Let me know down in the comments. Again guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.